Hey, how are you? Well, I got a couple of good questions, and I knew I would because I had said during the video that I felt that the project was a little complicated, and it really wasn't, and I mentioned that in the video I made yesterday. It's just explaining what I was doing and some of the reasons behind for some of the decisions. So I think that just getting your questions and then answering them one by one is probably the best way to deal with that. And also, I like to answer questions in video as opposed to trying to answer them in the comments because I'm just a horrible typer, literally. I think that if I wanted to try to get a viral video, I would take a video of me answering replies because it's pathetic. So anyway, I'm going to go through some of the questions one by one. Hopefully I'll answer everybody's, and I've written them down on my phone here. And the first one was, why not use the table saw to make the dado for the backs, or not the dado, the rabbet? And well, I had to have the end grain of the plywood covered because you would see it here. So the only way I could think of to do that was to make the box first and then rabbet out the space for the back with the router. Now I didn't use a rabbet for this cabinet. I simply screwed 1/2-inch plywood right to the back of the cabinet because this will be covered by the mattress. All right, another question was, why not use glue on the dividers? And I just decided that the cabinet didn't need glue. There's enough support between the 1/2-inch back, and it was just easier to build without using glue, just skipping that step. I didn't think it was necessary. I was almost thinking of it as building a wall. You don't need to glue the studs to the shoe and the plate because you have the sheathing going on, and I'm considering the back's sheathing. Why not use pocket holes was a question, and all of the screws are going to be hidden by the mattress. So that was the main reason, and it was just very easy to screw right through the top and the bottom into the dividers and into the sides. Another question was, will the mattress slide off? What are you going to do to keep the mattress from sliding off? And there will be a piece of trim that goes around the outside of the bed, and you'll see that on Friday. The edge banding. A few people wanted to know, what is the iron-on edge banding called, and where can you get it? And I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I always just call it iron-on edge banding. And I get it at my lumber yard. I haven't been able to find this at any of the box stores. I've gone to both of the big ones and they don't have it. And usually whoever's working there just looks at me like, like what? So anyway, that's the story there. The other question was, is it strong, or do you have to worry about it delaminating? And I've been using this stuff for over 20 years and I've never had a problem with it. A few people wanted to know about the center support. They were wondering if the mattress would sag in the center here. And yeah, I think it would. I will support the center. I'm going to add some cleats to the backs, and I'll probably use a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. And the thought there is, this will be sort of difficult storage to get to, but I can imagine my son sort of just lifting the mattress off and removing the 1/2-inch plywood and throwing winter things in here during the summer months and vice versa during the winter months. Okay, now I just want to talk a little bit about the reveals. Because this cabinet's being put together, when you have a reveal, it's a lot easier to make things look good. If I'm trying to get everything nice and flush, if it doesn't fit quite perfectly, then that's going to stand out. So let me bring the camera around and I'll point out some of the reveals and tell you the measurements of the reveals. Here's a closer look at the reveal on the side of the cabinet. So this is the divider. I've got a 3/8 reveal at the bottom and a 3/8 reveal at the top. Now we're at the head of the bed, and you can see I've got a 3/8 reveal between the side of the cabinet and the headboard, and the bottom of the cabinet dead ends flush into the headboard, and so does the top. Over here at the foot of the bed, I've got a 1/4 inch reveal at the bottom and the top, and that's basically splitting the difference of the 1/2-inch reveal here. This way, when this cabinet dead ends into the side of the cabinet at the foot of the bed, I've got another reveal. If it were flush, any imperfections would stand out and be magnified. That last scene just took me about 5 takes, and I think it's probably more confusing now than it was. It's just, for some reason, it's hard to explain these reveals, but I hope they make sense. You can see I've got some finish on the bed now. I've got 3 coats of a water-based polyurethane, and I'll start working on this tomorrow. I'm basically making the trim to go around the top, and I'm going to start working on the platform tomorrow and hopefully have the video done by Friday. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you then.